The Little Star's Big Adventure, a journey to the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Once upon a time, in a corner of the universe so far away that even the fastest spaceship would take millions of years to reach, there was a tiny galaxy called the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy. This little galaxy was like a shy friend, hiding behind the bright stars of the Milky Way. It was so close to our own galaxy that some scientists even thought it might be a part of it. This is the story of the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy, filled with stars, mysteries, and ancient tales from long, long ago. What is the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy? The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy is a small, faint galaxy that orbits our Milky Way. It's named after the constellation Canis Major, which means greater dog. In Latin, this constellation is home to the brightest star in the night sky, Sirius, also known as the Dog Star. The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy is special because it's one of the closest galaxies to us. It's about 25,000 light-years away from Earth. That's still very far, but in space terms, it's like being next-door neighbors. Scientists believe this little galaxy is being pulled apart by the Milky Way's gravity. Over time, its stars are joining our galaxy, like a tiny stream merging into a big river. Ancient tales and myths, long before telescopes were invented, people looked up at the night sky and told stories about the stars. The constellation Canis Major was often linked to dogs or wolves in many cultures. In Egyptian mythology, Sirius was connected to the goddess Isis. The Egyptians believed that when Sirius rose in the sky, it brought the flooding of the Nile River, which helped their crops grow. In Greek mythology, Canis Major was said to be the loyal dog of Orion, the great hunter. Orion and his dog were placed in the stars by the gods to honor their friendship. Some Native American tribes saw the stars of Canis Major as a wolf or a coyote, animals that were often seen as clever and brave, while the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy itself wasn't known to ancient people. Its stars were part of the same constellation that inspired these stories. What makes the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy special? It's a sneaky galaxy. The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy is hard to see because it's hidden behind the stars and dust of the Milky Way. Scientists only discovered it in 2003, using special telescopes that can see through the dust. It's falling apart. The Milky Way's gravity is so strong that it is pulling the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy apart. Over millions of years, its stars will become part of our galaxy. It's full of red giants. This little galaxy has many old, red stars called red giants. These stars are like the grandparents of the universe, big, bright, and full of stories. A star's journey. Let's imagine a little star named Luma who lives in the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy. Luma loved to shine brightly, but she always wondered what it would be like to explore the Milky Way. One day, the Milky Way's gravity gently tugged on Luma, pulling her away from her home galaxy. At first, she was scared, but soon she realized she was on an adventure. She zoomed through space, passing by colorful nebulae and sparkling star clusters. As she traveled, Luma made new friend stars from the Milky Way who welcomed her with open arms. She realized that even though she was far from home, she was part of something bigger and more beautiful than she had ever imagined. Fun facts about the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy: it's one of the closest galaxies to the Milky Way, but it's still about 25,000 light-years away. It's an irregular galaxy, which means it doesn't have a neat spiral or round shape like some other galaxies. Scientists think it might have collided with the Milky Way in the past, helping to create some of the stars we see today. The end? Or is it? The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy might be small, but it's full of wonders. Its stars are like tiny explorers, joining the Milky Way and becoming part of our cosmic family. Next time you look up at the night sky and see the bright star Sirius, remember the little galaxy hiding nearby. It is a reminder that even the smallest things in the universe can have big stories to tell. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one to discover a new galaxy or solve the mysteries of the stars. The universe is waiting for you. The end illustration idea. A smiling star waving goodbye to her galaxy as she zooms toward the Milky Way, surrounded by swirling colors of space. Expanded section. The science behind the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy. How do we know it's there? The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy is so faint and hidden behind the Milky Way stars and dust that it is almost invisible to regular telescopes. Scientists discovered it using special tools like infrared telescopes, which can see through the dust. They noticed a group of stars moving together in a way that didn't match the rest of the Milky Way. This was the clue that led them to the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy. What's inside the galaxy? The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy is mostly made up of old stars, like red giants. These stars are much older than our Sun, and have used up most of their energy. There aren't many young, bright stars in this galaxy, which makes it look dim compared to others. A galactic collision. Some scientists think the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy might have crashed into the Milky Way a long time ago. This collision could have sent ripples through our galaxy, creating new stars and changing the shape of the Milky Way. It is like when two clouds bump into each other in the sky. They mix and create something new. Expanded section. Luma's adventures in the Milky Way. As Luma traveled through the Milky Way, she saw many amazing things. The Orion Nebula, a glowing cloud of gas and dust where new stars are born. Luma thought it looked like a cosmic nursery. The Pleiades star cluster, a group of bright, young stars that sparkled like diamonds. Luma made friends with one of the stars, who told her stories about being born in a swirling cloud of dust. The galactic center, the heart of the Milky Way, where a supermassive black hole lives. Luma didn't get too close. She knew black holes were powerful and mysterious. Expanded section. Fun activities for young explorers. Spot Sirius in the night sky. On a clear night, look for the brightest star in the sky. That's Sirius, the dog star. It's part of the Canis Major constellation. Draw your own galaxy. Use crayons or markers to create your own galaxy. Will it be spiral, irregular, or something completely new? Write a star story. Imagine you're a star like Luma. Where would you go? What would you see? Write or draw your adventure. Final thought. The Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy reminds us that the universe is full of surprises. Even the smallest galaxies have big stories to tell, and every star has a journey to share. So, keep looking up at the stars, and who knows what you might discover? The end.